English actually means David. So when I'm on the resort, he's T1 and I'm T2. Obviously,
Oh, how fun.
I don't have the
Oh, that's
tats though.
awesome.
Spending way more on
Okay, so here's the deal. I'm going to do the, oh, Kelly's in there. Good. Okay. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. What we're going to do is I'm going to mute everyone. So don't be offended when I mute you. I know we all have wonderful things we want to say, but we we don't want to hear them. So what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to introduce. Okay, let's look here. I'm going to give a couple minutes. I think right now I'm going to go look and make sure I have a couple more people that want to come. And then I want to introduce you and stuff like that. And of course, I want to be at that location right now. It's one of those that, yeah, I've got one more. Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about Tahaa. Is it Tahaa or how do you? Oh, wait, I didn't mute you. Did I seriously mute you?
There we go. It's Taha'a.
Oh my God, I'm the best host ever. Oh my God. I didn't mean to mute you. You can talk. I'll allow you to talk, Dave.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's Tahaa, right?
Taha'a.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. So,
but I'm lazy. I just say La Taha.
yeah.
I can't do the
So I didn't even know about it till we went last year. And so for any of you who didn't know, I was lucky enough to go with the Tahiti Specialist Program last year. And what you do is a couple different tour companies take you. I went with the Tahiti Tourism Board, and then they have a conference. We did it on a ship, and then we got to go tour around, and it was phenomenal because you get a vibe. Why we go, I mean, you know, I get teased that I get to travel a lot, but really we go to get, like, we get to meet you, we get to meet people, we get to, but you get a vibe when you walk through a resort. What does it feel like when you walk in? What is the crowd like when you're there? There is a really big difference at some places. And, you know, when I'm asking people to fork out some money, I want to know if I can't go there, what are they going to do and how they're going to take care of my clients and stuff like that. And that was an island I had never sold before. And I could have stayed there for a week. And I was telling him, I have a photo that I took and people said, that has to be a stock photo. And I was like, no, I just walked off the entrance. And of course, the way we got there was we flew into the airport and then we did our little private charter boat and we zoomed over there on our little boat over there. I will say that was a good travel agent day. I really took one for the team. So, okay. These people are gotta stop texting me. I'm in a group text with a bunch of women who want to go to a bar tomorrow night in town. And I'm like, I'm out of town. I need to get out of that one. Okay. I want to introduce Dave, and it's McKay, right?
That'll do. That's good. Mackay.
Oh, McCall. Okay. He's from New Zealand. He's a Kiwi, but he lives in Vancouver. And he is part of the Pearl Resorts. And I want you to explain what you were telling me before we started recording about what's so great about the Pearl Resorts. Because again, there's so many great things about why. First of all, I knew about your resorts because there was savings if you stayed at one and went to another. And one of the first places we stayed when we landed at like 10 o'clock. If you land at night, you go stay at a resort in Tahiti. We stayed at the Pearl. And this is the Pearl that I got to dig out in the hotel. I still wear it. I was blown away. I loved that resort. Loved it. And it was beautiful. And the black beach below and my breakfast. And I got to watch people exercise in the pool. I actually really, really enjoyed that resort. And I didn't think so. I always thought of it just like, oh, it's a resort I put my clients at before they go to the better resorts. And it was beautiful. I absolutely loved the crowd. I loved the people. So again, that's why we go to your resorts. But tell us a little bit more about your resorts.
Yeah, just hi everybody. Hope everybody's doing well today. Hi Whitney. You and I have been communicating a little bit there, and Coulter. Nice to see you on there from Classic. Kelly, have we emailed before? I don't think so. No.
I don't think she said so. No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, I just recognize. I know. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, just to give you a real quick overview about who we are and what we are. Our brand is all about authenticity, and sort of what does that actually mean? Well, what it really means is that number one, we are a locally owned company. We're actually owned by a company called Brasserie de Tahiti, which is the largest company in Tahiti, and they actually own Hananu Brewery. So for us, it's all about where our resorts are located. So in this COVID world that we're in, pretty much all of the Pearl resorts are naturally socially distanced. So all of our resorts are in unique locations, like Tahaa on a private motu. Bora Bora is the same. In Tahaa, you're on a little, in the Tuamotu archipelago. And up in Nakahima in the Marquetas Islands group, that's a really unique lodge that we have up there. But more importantly, or equally as important, I guess, is how we operate our program, and that is that we like to support the communities in where we are. So, for example, at the Tahaa, 90% of the staff come from the island of Tahaa. So our way of giving back to our communities is to employ our communities. The island of Tikihau and the Tuamotus, it only has a population of 500 people. We employ 15% of the population, which actually supports 30% of the community. So when you're coming to our resorts and you've got guests coming to our resorts, we are very much one that your client, you will feel very connected to Polynesia, because that's what our brand is all about. So that just gives you a brief overview of who we are. And
that reminds me a little bit of Fiji, which is unusual for Polynesia, right? Because Polynesia is not as involved like that, but Fiji is very similar with being a part of the community.
Very similar. I mean, it's an interesting little point, actually. When you're in Tahiti, like if you're in the island of Tahiti, everybody says bonjour, because of the French Connection. That was a movie, wasn't it? I think.
It was
anyway,
a car scene. Great car race.
But once you get out into the islands, everything becomes Iorana.
Yes,
everything completely switches. So yes, in that way, it's a bit like Fiji, because you've got Bulavanaka, Vanakavakalevu, and all that sort of stuff going on in Fiji, and it's similar with our resorts at Pearl, actually.
Yeah, that's great. So take us through a couple of the resorts and tell us a little bit more.
Okay, let me just share my screen here if I can.
Please do.
Hopefully you can all see that.
Yep, I can. Oh, they got Dan and I again on the beach. Look at that.
I know. So what I really wanted to do, first of all, even before talking about the resorts, is just to give everybody a little reminder about the entry requirements in Tahiti, what's going on in the destination currently, how procedures are working in terms of COVID policies and that sort of stuff. So as some of you know, you have to have a COVID test prior to arrival in Tahiti, and that has to be done 72 hours prior to departure. Okay. At the bottom of the screen there, you'll see a little link to the Tahiti Tourism website, and that actually gives you all the information that you need to know, all the updated information that you need to know about entry into Tahiti. One of the things that you have to complete online is a medical form, okay? And so you complete that medical form, take a copy of it, and then bring it with you for when you check in. The team at Air Titi Nui is supposed to, or any of the airlines are supposed to ask for that medical form to see it, but you should always have a hard copy of that form. So it's an online process, and the information goes to the Tahitian government for your arrival. Once you get on board the aircraft with the Air Titi Nui, and I believe United as well, everybody's got to wear masks on board. And when you arrive in Tahiti, at all the airports, whether it's in Tahaa, Bora Bora, Tikihau, and of course Papeete, everybody has to wear a mask at the airport, okay, including the local population. So that's what the guests will experience when they get there. When you get off the aircraft, what actually happens is that not everybody gets off together. Okay, so it's a bit of a slower process. So they do it by sections, and to keep everybody naturally socially distanced and the processing. When you're at immigration, every guest will be given a self-testing kit, and that self-testing kit is a COVID kit that you have to complete 4 days after arrival in the destination. And so what they'll do is they'll take your medical form, they'll scan that, and they'll scan the test kit. And when you get to the hotel, on the fourth day, wherever you are, you will actually do your self-testing, give it to reception, and then the health authorities of Tahiti come around and pick everything up and take it back to Papeete, and test, and the tests are done within 24 hours. Okay, so that just gives you a brief idea. Now, the testing in Tahiti, it's one of those situations where no news is good news.
Right.
So if you don't hear back from the Tahitian government, that means you're negative. Okay, they're not going to put resources to telling all the tourists that you're negative. It's only going to be to folks who are positive. Okay, so that just gives you a brief idea of the policies. Obviously, our resorts, we have a large range of policies in place, and one of the keys for us has been to ensure that the guest experience is not compromised. And we'll talk a little bit about that as we go along in the presentation today. So
Perfect.
just wanted to have a quick look at the map here of Tahiti. It's still there, which is good news. You, of course, let's see if I can get this laser pointer going here. There we go. So you're flying into Papeete, Taha'a International Airport. And then our resorts are located in the Society Island group. So if you're flying on Air Tahiti Nui, what you can do is that you can direct connect out to the outer islands.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we've got a hotel in Papeete, and they won't like me saying this, but my suggestion is to just direct connect and get out to your destination.
All depends on when you land. That's the big thing right now, is because the Air Tahiti Nui right now is going down to 3 days for overnight flights. And then they have 2 days where they land at 10:40 at night. And then people go, well, why can't I go? And I'm like, there's no ferry and there's no, flights. You have to go out the next day versus landing at like the 4:45 in the morning and then flying direct.
Right. So I think what you'll find in the immediate future, all the Air Tahiti Nui flights will be getting in about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And there are flights that you can direct connect out to. So Tahaa, you actually fly into the island of Raiatea, and from there it's a 30-minute boat ride up to Tahaa. So we're on the very tip of the lagoon overlooking Tahaa and across to Bora Bora. Tahaa is known as the Vanilla Island, so 80% of all vanilla produced in French Polynesia comes from the island of Tahaa. Most people are going to connect Tahaa with Bora Bora. Okay,
Yes.
so we'll do 3 or 4 nights Tahaa and then continue on to Bora Bora. You can come back down the lagoon again, and it's a 10-minute flight to Bora Bora. Or if you wanted to, we have a helipad on site at the resort, and guests can actually fly directly to the resorts in Bora Bora. Most of the resorts in Bora are going to have helipads as well. Okay. Then of course we have the Bora Bora Pearl Beach Resort, and in Bora Bora on a private motu, and it's on the opposite side. So the Four Seasons, St. Regis, Meridian Bora, Interconti, Talasso, they're all on this side. We are on our own private motu. I know it's a private motu because our owners bought the motu last year. So that gives you an idea for Bora Bora. For Tikihau, you're flying from Papeete all the way up to Tikihau, okay, in the Tuamotu archipelago. These are the low-lying atolls. And to get to Bora Bora, you either come back down to Papeete and fly back to Tahaa or Bora Bora, or there's a couple of flights a week where you can fly from Bora Bora to Tikihau. And last but not least is Nakahima and the Marquetas Islands. We might not have enough time to talk about this today, but these are some of the most isolated islands in the world. And the culture up here is something to be amazed by. It's the people here don't even consider themselves Tahitian. They're Marquesian, so they speak a different language.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, in Tahiti you would say Irana.
Yeah.
Here in the Marquesas you say Kaho'a. And it's all about the culture here. And we have a wonderful little lodge up here in the Marquesas. So more of a soft adventure type travel. It's all about the archaeological sites and that sort of thing. So
they talked about that with the boat that we were on for the event. And I
that's
remember,
right.
and how far away is that? Like, how far are these? I know that Bora Bora is like a 45-minute flight from Papeete. How about these other places?
Okay, so Tikihau is an hour's flight, and
Okay.
to get to Nakahima is 3.5 hours.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And really, yeah, you're
a great
looking at like this over here, the Tika. I'm gonna screw this up.
Tikiha,
Is that also a great place for diving, just like Ragarui?
Rangiroa. Yeah,
I used to
yes,
call
it
it
is.
Ratatouille. My kids were like, "That's a movie with a mouse."
You
Sorry.
know, Tikiha is really interesting. When Jacques Cousteau actually surveyed Tikiha, he said it had the highest concentration of marine life in the world. Um,
Wow.
and that is still true today. But Tikiha is not just about diving. Tikiha actually in English actually means seeking peace.
Oh.
And that's exactly what that little resort is all about. There's this feeling of being in the middle of the South Pacific where you can either disconnect
Wow.
or reconnect, as I like to say. So it's a special little place.
Awesome.
But what I wanted to talk about a little bit more today is this place here, the Bora Bora Pearl Beach Resort.
Yep.
We opened on Tuesday after a
Woohoo!
$41 million renovation.
Yeah, I saw you with cranes.
Yeah.
And if I remember
Uh,
correctly, you guys picked up every building and took it off site, redid it, and brought them back, right?
right. I'll show
Which
you
is
that in a
so
minute.
unique. Yeah.
I'll show you that in a minute, actually.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So the it's amazing that we're open actually. And we had pre-COVID we had 450 guys working on this resort, and then we had to go down to 100. And we've only recently only since about July were we able to get the team back on board. So our location is really important. We're only 10 minutes from the airport.
Mm-hmm.
As I mentioned before, that we're a private island experience. There's no other resorts around us, so we're very much naturally socially distanced. And we're going to be maintaining our position as a 4-star property here in Bora Bora. So when we look at the resort, this is what the resort used to look like prior to the closure.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the new look of the resort.
Wow.
So what we're doing, we're adding a new fine dining restaurant, which unfortunately will not open now until 2021. The Mickey restaurant and the Te Baroa restaurant have been completely reimagined. We're adding in a wine bar, which I think will be very popular for several of you here.
Woohoo!
And this will also be a tapas bar as well, brand new swimming pool. A new swim-up bar with a grass roof with a resident goat on top. He'll probably only be there for a couple of weeks, that goat.
That'll be a fun video to watch.
And then the beach area is just over to the right-hand side there. So this is sort of the new public spaces that we will actually have at the resort. So it's a little bit different, a little bit more contemporary, but being at this particular resort is like being in a Tahitian village. All the vegetation that is around here is very, very lush. And we haven't taken any trees down or anything like that. So when you walk through the resort, you feel this sort of Tahitian village type atmosphere. Let's see here, a quick shot here of the wine bar. I keep talking about wine bars in the swimming pool area.
I mean, it's 10. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. So
it is indeed. This is the Overwater Bungalow originally.
yeah.
And to be fair, the outdoor living space was a little bit congested here at the resort. So we've gone more to an experience where we're expanding the outdoor decks, and the Overwater Bungalows have been completely reimagined. This is what we were talking about here, the fun fact.
So cool.
All the new Overwater Bungalows were built on land, every single one. And so, as Susan said, we actually took the old bungalows off by crane. We barged them around to the resort. We stripped them down and refinished them completely. And so once they're at this stage, they're actually put back onto the barge and they go around to their positioning on the pontoon. And we actually did that from mid 2019. So we were able to do a lot of work on the new bungalows pretty early, which helped in the renovation process. This is the new Overwater Bungalow concept here. This is just the layout, 851 square feet.
Wow.
All of the bungalows have exactly the same layout in the Overwaters. The enhanced outdoor living space, this little fillet here is actually an overwater hammock.
Yes.
So you can get outside and enjoy that. And as I mentioned, we've added the 27 overwater bungalows.
Wow.
These are the first images of the new overwaters.
Those are
So,
beautiful. Oh, that's like the Tahaa where you know open that
right,
glass. Yeah, and
right,
feed the fish.
right. So a similar
Yeah.
feel. But what we've tried to do is the use of of our Tahitian carvings and things like that.
Hmm.
The crown molding here is all Tahitian carvings. There's some really unique carvings in the bathroom as well. Because as you probably don't know, but the Tahitian language, like all Polynesian language, was a spoken language and a written language. So all the history and stuff like that were passed down through the telling of legends, tattooing, of course, and also song and dance, and of course carving. And so when you're in Tahiti, you'll see a lot of carvings that only have 3 fingers, and that represents birth, space, and life and death. There you go. You've learned something new today, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the bathroom area. Whoops. Another quick shot here of the bungalow. And this is the new bathroom. The bathrooms were enlarged. I believe we call this pawa, but I think you guys had called abalone shell.
Mm.
So these beautiful abalone shell walls, a beautiful walk-in shower, of course, the bathtub. Above the bathtub there is glass panels, so you can look down into the lagoon. And
Oh,
again, we have the Tahitian carvings as well. The bathrooms have been enlarged. And if I just go back,
I was going to say, go back a sec. You know, one of the things I love that you just showed that I think is great that you did. I mean, obviously you didn't consult me on remodeling. Is go to the next one. I was going to say is the next one is that what I loved about the different places I stayed was I could lay on my bed and see. Look at that, all those windows, and I could see the water. And
yeah,
some of the overwaters I stayed in was not that way. Tahaa was very good. They had a huge picture window, and some of them had these small little sliding glass doors. And you're like, and then the overhang, and you really couldn't see anything unless you stood outside, which is
yeah,
fine. But when you're tired and you want to lay on your bed and you just want to stare at water, that is such a great feature to use all that glass. And I will
yeah,
tell you that thing at night. I mean, you sit there, you can buy that food, and I sat there, and we have videos, and I'm like, nothing's coming, nothing, and all of a sudden, this huge barracuda and shark comes, and you're like, oh, and you're in your place. So it's so cool. I mean, if I would have been with my husband, it probably would have been better, but I was by myself.
yeah.
But it's so cool. So I see that. So the bathroom's right behind it. This is stunning, and a ceiling fan. Boom! Way to go! Everyone should have ceiling fans in their room.
Yeah. And the other thing too, it just for privacy's sake, we do have pocket doors through here as well.
Oh, okay. In case I'm with a girlfriend. Yeah, I
Right.
get that.
Yeah. And on the other side here. And we had this massive debate actually, because in behind this, there's a sitting area here, and we've put in a makeup desk type thing, with all sorts of gadgets and gadgets in it. And we were going to keep it and take it out, but we eventually kept it. And the other thing to note, just about the bungalow, it's wired for sound, because obviously everybody's carrying, you know,
Right.
an overnight bag for all your clothes and stuff, and then you've got a suitcase full of electronics. So you know, we've got the USB plugs, as you know, right throughout the entire resort. So, and we also have Comcast TV.
Oh.
I'm not quite sure what that means for us. I'm not sure whether you can get YouTube or Netflix or whatever. I've got to find that answer. Find the answer to that one. And the other thing we've done here is that for folks who are going to Tahiti, sometimes people want that overwater bungalow with pool, and to do that, you have to get into a 5-star resort. That actually changes with the new Bora Bora Pearl, because we've actually got 6 bungalows that are going to have the private plunge pools as well.
Nice.
Okay, so you'll be able to get into an overwater bungalow with pool at a 4-star resort here.
Whitney's going to have to share some photos from there when she goes.
I think you're staying in this bungalow with
Yeah,
me,
she is.
actually.
She said she is. She just chatted that. I'm like, woohoo! That's
Yeah.
the coolest. Oh, that's awesome.
So what I have for you here, Whitney, is just this is an artist impression of the new Overwater Bungalow with pool. So the interior is exactly the same as the other Overwater Bungalows. The deck space is significantly larger. Here's a nice shot of your Overwater hammock, and here's an image of your plunge pool. There will have to be signs put up here, I think, not to dive from your plunge pool into the lagoon. Because one of the cool things here at Pearl is the depth. I'm about 8 foot. I'm about 8 foot tall. No, I'm not. But I'm about I don't know. I'm about 6 foot, so it comes up about to chest level on me. So you can easily walk back
Yeah,
into the beach. This actually is the real beach, by the way. I mean, it stretches right along there.
beautiful.
So the Overwater Bungalows with pool are Otemanu views. Okay, so they all have views of Mount Otemanu
Is that
as
how they'd be
well.
listed then? Is it will it say pool or will it just say
It'll be,
Otomanu pool?
it'll say Otemanu view with pool,
Okay, okay.
and then we'll have Otemanu views as well.
Yes, I have clients that are in those. Yep, they
Yeah,
want
yeah,
that. They're going in April, but I might go ask them if they want to upgrade to the one with the pool.
yeah. It's pretty nice. And
Yeah.
then these haven't been completed because they're a pretty complicated bungalow. But
Wow.
they're currently being built on land, and these are two 1 bedroom end of pontoon suites. So just a quick note on these and the bungalows themselves. The Overwater Bungalows are going to have a maximum occupancy of 3 people. Okay. We used to be a little bit liberal on that and allow families to go in of like mum and dad and 2 kids. But we're not going to do that with the new resort. So if families want to get into the Pearl, you'll probably have to come into an end of pontoon suite or the beach bungalow product, which is what I'd highly recommend that you do. Okay. And then if you're a bit budget challenged, as I like to say, or if you've got clients who are budget challenged, we have these wonderful garden pool villas. This is the villa as it used to be. As you can see here, there's beautiful vegetation all around.
I
We have
love those rooms. I'll be honest. I love the private pool ones. I sell a lot of that at
all
resorts.
right. So what we've done is we've completely reimagined the garden area, and also completely refurbished the interior of the bungalow as well. And this is the new look of the bungalow.
Yeah,
So
that's
obviously, as
amazing.
you can see, rather than that little tiny little pool, we've actually put in a proper swimming pool into here. We've changed the whole concept where it's become like a Tahitian garden that your guests will be going into. So it's a great lead-in bungalow for
Oh, that's
anybody
beautiful.
who can't
Yeah,
get there. You
love
know,
that. I love
uh,
that.
the
Oh, wow.
interior
Yeah.
is spectacular. This is probably our most Tahitian bungalow that we have with the wood and stuff like that. I actually stayed in this particular bungalow last year when we were designing it. The bathroom used to be an indoor-outdoor bathroom. 50% of the guests loved it, 50% of the guests hated it, so we decided to make it all indoor. But the architect decided, I don't know why, but he decided to put in a glass sliding door in the shower. I have no idea what that
So you
concept
can
was for.
pretend you're outside.
So you can pretend, right? Yeah, I guess that's it. You open the door, stick your head out, and having a shower.
So you can be like, I want to be more humid while I give a shower.
There you go.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And
That's
then
beautiful.
the bungalow itself, as this is looking out again into the bungalow. So you can see what we've done.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
We've really reimagined the interiors, but we've spent a lot of time enhancing our outdoor spaces and making them really livable for our guests as well. We put a new set of windows in here as well, just to lighten up the bungalow as well. And what we're doing, because we're owned by Brasserie de Tahiti and their own Hananu brewery, we now will have complimentary minibars at all of our resorts, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
And they will be selected beverages. So it won't be a full minibar. So it'll be, 3 or 4 beers a day, some Coca-Cola products because we also own the licensing for Coca-Cola, juices, that sort of thing, and those mini bars will be refreshed daily.
I think we had that at Tahaa.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and you got like a candy bar.
And candy bars as well.
Yeah, because we all were like, "Ooh, did you get a candy bar?"
Yeah.
But it's
get
a
all that-
nice feature when you are like, "Hey, I want to go back to my room. I want to have something. I don't want to have to order room service or go to the store." This is beautiful, and I'm telling you, for anyone who thinks they can't afford, garden rooms with pools are a beautiful way to see it. Also, you still see everything. I know the overwaters are great, but you still see all of Bora Bora by going to the water and enjoying it. This is I like these. These are a little bit more private, actually, for me.
Right. And then, of course, our beach. Unfortunately, I haven't got our Beech Villa images yet, but this is an old image of the Beech Villa. Everybody goes, "Oh, isn't that a nice photo of those two people sitting on the ledge of their villa?" And we're going, "No, it's not." So this particular bungalow type has been completely redone. It had an indoor-outdoor bathroom and
So
other
it's right
features,
on the water.
and it's right on the beach.
Oh,
With
okay.
great views.
I never saw those.
And this is the new look. So the garden pool bungalow outdoor deck that you saw is similar in the beach bungalow, but it's much bigger. The bungalow itself is now fully air conditioned as well. Previously, only the main bedroom area was air conditioned. We've moved and enlarged the bathroom area. And then what we've also done, so those people don't have to sit on the windowsill anymore, is put in a beautiful outdoor deck with your own private gazebo. And we have 8 of these, and they have wonderful views back out onto Mount Otemanu, really private. And these are great for families. So mum and dad here, and you can easily put 2 kids into these bungalows here. Okay, so this is ideal. And then if you've got a larger family, or if you've got guests who are looking for a bit more privacy, like Tahaa, we've introduced a 2-bedroomed royal villa.
Yeah.
And this thing is bigger than Ben-Hur. I mean, it's about 2,000 square feet. And, you're going to have plunge pools, well, actually 3 pools. You have this communal dining areas here. You're able to have a chef come in and do a cook dinner for the family at night and stuff like that if you wanted to as well. So again, great bungalow, particularly for adult families, I think, actually.
Yep.
So if you've got mum and dad and 2 adult kids, the kids will love it because they've got their own completely entrance as well, so they can escape and not know, the parents won't know where the hell they are, but that's okay.
How many does that sleep?
We're saying it sleeps 8 people, but to be fair, I just like to say maybe 6 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing you want to avoid is congestion in bungalows because people spend a lot of time there. So that's what I would suggest. So
I agree.
That gives you an idea of the new look. So it's very different.
Looks wonderful.
Our wonderful spa facility has not changed. We still have our resident tattoo artist on board. So if you want to get inked in Tahiti, you can do so.
Sweet.
And it's very cool the way we do this. It's not like going to your local tattoo shop in LA or wherever you're from, wherever you are. Here, what he does, he actually sits down with you and he talks about you and your family and stuff like that. And they'll actually design a tattoo that is very generic and unique to yourself if you wanted to go that far and actually do that. But 6 treatment rooms here. We haven't really done much work on the spa at all because it's already a great facility, so it's really cool. What we also have at this resort, before I get there, so this is just the map of the resort. So these are the end of Pontoon Overwater Bungalow suites, the Otemanu views with pool. These are all the Otemanu views here. What we did actually, we changed the angle of the bungalow slightly so that everybody creates a bit more privacy.
Yep.
Then these are the beach villas here, and this is a 2-bedroom royal. This is the garden product here, our spa facility back here, the general manager's house, which has been expanded for some reason, and the main pool area over here as well. And what I wanted to just show you was, if I can get it to go, there we go. So this is a really interesting yacht. This is the very first solar powered catamaran in Tahiti. We use this for sunset cruises. And when you go out on this particular yacht, it only takes 12 people. It's like being in a sailboat. It's amazing because there's no sound. And you just cruise along the lagoon. And at sunset, we cruise towards the Conrad Bora Bora, where the sunset is. And you're coming back at night, and the views of Mount Otemanu are almost mystical. It's just complete silence, and it's just a really amazing experience to actually be part of this. We also used a solar-powered catamaran actually for transfers to Vaitapi, which is the main town in Bora Bora, once a day. And we also have complimentary transfers from the resort to the main island as well.
Oh, you do? I didn't know that. So you pick up at the airport, and you also will take them once a day in and out of the town. That's nice.
Yeah, but we have multiple services a day that go across to the main island.
Wow.
Not to Vaitapi, and then they can just take the local bus service or taxi to Vaitapi. At night, we have a paid service, and what happens is they go across to our base in Bora Bora, and all of the restaurants like Villa Mahana, the Bloody Mary's, which is the famous restaurant that you may have heard of.
Oh yeah.
And places like the yacht club, they will all pick up complimentary from our base and take them back to the restaurants. So all the restaurants will pick up complimentary at night. So if you wanted to get off the resort, it's easy to do so, and it's easy to get to a restaurant here from the Bora Bora Pearl. And the reason we charge at night is because we're a little bit like the Marines. We leave no person behind. Believe it or not, we have one or two guests, well, actually several guests actually, that are having too good of a time at Bloody Mary's, and they miss the last transfer back at night. So when they get back to the base, they have to call across to the resort, and our night auditor has to come across in the boat and pick everybody up and bring them back to the resort.
It's always one. There's always one.
No, there's always 7 or 8 actually.
Now, the Catamaran Cruise, the Sunset Cruise, that's not included. That's something they would pay for.
No, it's $120 a person.
Yeah.
The crew are very particular too. You can't wear shoes on board and that sort of stuff. The bathroom here is awesome. Actually, you go downstairs into one of the pontoons of the into here, and it's like there's all this retro look and bright lights and all sorts of stuff.
Pontoon party.
It's a pontoon party. It's worth going on board the boat just for the bathroom, I reckon.
There you go.
But it's beautiful. So in keeping with that theme, we are also introducing in January the very first solar powered transfer boats from the airport.
Wow.
So
that's amazing.
We were supposed to have these at the reopening, but unfortunately, they were built in New Zealand, and it took a bit of time to get those completed. They're really cool, actually. Oops, daisy. And so these will be available in January. What we've done is that we have a rather old transfer boat currently, and I love that old thing because you used to bail the water out of the boat as you go into the resort. But what we've done,
it's only 10 minutes. You can swim.
Yeah, but what we've done, because of the new look of the resort, we've actually gone out and contracted somebody with a new boat that will be using until these guys are complete. As you can see, the solar panels on top as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. So that's the new Bora Bora Pearl Beach Resort. So that just gives you an idea
Beautiful.
of what we're going to look like.
Bora Bora is amazing when you land. I mean, you land and it's this tiny little airport, and everybody is going for, you're finding your resort and they come, hello, how are you? Let me take your bag. And you're looking out at the mountain. I mean, it's tiny and everyone's going to a boat. You feel like you're at a yacht club.
Yeah.
It has one little store, you know, it's just because everyone gets nervous, like, well, how am I going to know? I go, you're not going to miss where you're going. Like
Yeah.
it's one room. So
Yeah.
it's really, really pretty. That's beautiful. And like you said, it is so great that it's so close. I am way, way impressed. I've said this again to you. I'll say it again. Your resort, before it was redone, my clients absolutely loved because they were excited they could get to Bora Bora on a 4-star budget. I'm blown away by how pretty it is. To consider that still a 4-star compared to the pricing that you guys are offering right now, especially with breakfast and dinner included on most of these packages we're looking at, compared to the things that other resorts are charging. It's so great to have something there when we are doing like a split stay with another island for people to be excited about, because everyone wants to go to Bora Bora. I mean, everyone has that picture. I always joke, I go, you went to the dentist and you saw that photo and said, yes, I want to go there. And so to get them there, and then I give them the price and they about have a heart attack. So it's nice to have a resort that you go, hey, you can get there. You can get there at a great, and this is so beautiful. So I love it.
Yeah. And then there's a nice segue actually in talking about split stays. So that sort of leads us into the Tahaa question. So here we go. Just once again, to get to Tahaa, you'd be coming from Papeete, a 35-minute flight to Raiatea, and a 35-minute boat ride up the lagoon to Tahaa. And then to get to Bora Bora, you can go by helicopter or come back down the lagoon. It's a 10-minute flight. Depending on what the experience that you're looking for, Tahaa is a very special place. This is a barefoot luxury experience.
Yep.
It's very, very authentically Polynesian. So if you're coming here, and let's say you want to stay at Pearl Resort in Bora Bora, we would probably recommend that you do Bora Bora first and then Tahaa last. If you were deciding to go into a 5-star resort like a Four Seasons or a St. Regis, for example, we would suggest doing Tahaa first and those other resorts second.
Gotcha.
The reason for that is that, again, we're a barefoot luxury experience, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a sec. And they're more of a formal 5-star experience, if you like, you know,
Correct.
following their brand management. Both great resorts, by the way. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about them. They're great. But this is us here. So
That's
one of the
Bora Bora
hardest
in the background.
That's Bora Bora in the background that you see here. You're coming from Raiatea, and what happens here is you come across the lagoon of Raiatea to Tahaa, and then you come around the point of Tahaa, the very end of the end, and you see this little speck in the distance.
Yep.
And the boat starts coming closer and closer and closer, and eventually that you get here. And 45 Overwater Bungalows, the 10 beach villas. This area out here is very, very unique.
Yeah.
This is called the Coral Garden, and it's a natural channel, and it flows all the way back into the lagoon, and you can go snorkeling through here. So it's a drift snorkel.
Yeah.
Okay. So this brings us to the topic of, you know, some of the COVID, you know, policies that we have in place. So obviously, whether you're in Bora Bora, whether you're in Tahaa or anywhere, you know, you want to go snorkeling. Okay. So what we're recommending at the moment is that people bring their own snorkeling mask. However, if you don't do that, that's okay, because what we're doing at our resorts is that we are giving you a package of sanitized masks and snorkels, and you will actually keep those for the entire stay that you're at the resort. Normally, in normal circumstances, you'd give them back at the end of each day, but now you keep them in for the entire time while you're at the resort. So you don't have to bring your own snorkel and mask if you don't want to. If you feel uncomfortable, there are going to be, you know, other product available to purchase if you wanted to do that. So you've got a lot of different options there. Okay. This is our reception area. 80% of the resort's actually built using local material. As I mentioned earlier, 95% of the staff who work here come from the island of Tahaa. So our way of giving back to community is to employ our community. This area here has completely changed. our owners have got this thing about waterfalls. I mean, he's building another one, for gosh sakes.
Wow.
And so what we're upstairs here is where our main restaurants are. So up beside the stairs now is this massive restaurant that comes cascading down from upstairs when you arrive. So this outrigger canoe here is over 150 years old. We refurbished this as well. So it just gives you an idea of the look of the resort. And these are the Overwater Bungalows. So this is our Bora Bora pontoon. So these we call our Bora Bora Overwaters. They look down through the coral garden to Bora Bora. We've got our own inner lagoon as well, and this is where our spa facility is. All along these little beach areas here is where all our beach bungalows are located as well. So, and again, the depth of the water here is not huge, not that deep. So you can easily stay at an end of pontoon bungalow and walk back into the resort if you wanted to, or walk to the coral garden. What you do is when you come to the coral garden, you walk across the lagoon here, you walk all the way up to the end, and you drift snorkel in. Now, I would recommend, we have an excursion here. It's only $10 per person, but on your first morning, I would recommend doing it with our guys from the pool hut. Get a guy called Big Love or one of those other guys to take you through. And the idea of doing that is that so you get to understand how the coral garden works, how to navigate the channel. I would highly recommend that you actually do that on your first day, and then you can just be in the garden the rest of your stay. You know, every morning, you know, get up at 6 o'clock, coral garden, then go to breakfast, sort of thing. What a lot of people do actually. All the Overwater bungalows are exactly the same layout, 970 square feet. As Susan mentions, a little bit like Bora Bora was modeled on this a little bit. These beautiful big picture windows that you see here. The glass table at the end of the bed. This actually opens up. You can feed the fish if you wanted to. If you're having a bad day, you can throw your husband or your wife down there.
It is big enough. It is quite large.
Of course, fully air conditioned with ceiling fans as well. The bathrooms here are really, really unique. There's beautiful Tahitian wood, the Tahitian carvings that you see here. So very, very, very unique experience. Beautiful large wraparound decks as well with your own private gazebo on here. Direct access into the lagoon. Now, while I'm talking about the decks, I might as well just talk a little bit about dining experiences at the resort. We carry 3 restaurants, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Everything will be naturally socially distanced. And at the restaurants, all of our staff, period, right now, are wearing masks the entire time on their shifts, okay? So when you go to the restaurant, if you feel uncomfortable, we are allowing our guests to, utilize room service, and there'll be no cost for room service. Wow. So if you wanted to, you could actually come back to your bungalow your entire stay and dine underneath the stars with your bungalow.
That's awesome.
And it's not like staying at the Sheraton Hotel. No disrespect to Sheraton. We don't throw the tray through the door at you. We set up a white linen table service here for you as well, because we are what's called a Roulian Chateau brand. And Roulian Chateau is a French brand that is all about dining experiences and customer service and food and beverage. So we follow that and Bora Bora has also become a Roulian Chateau as well. So that's the bungalows themselves. We also have the Beech Villa product. This is great for families as well. We have 10 beach villas. One is 1,500 square feet. The other one's 2,400 square feet. So a pretty cool product, your own private pool, etc. And if you wanted to, let's say you did a combination with Bora Bora, you could do a beach bungalow here if you wanted to, and combine it with an Overwater bungalow in Bora Bora, depending on what you want to do. But all private locations.
Real quick, is that dining program also available at Bora Bora, or only the free room service at?
No, it's same in Bora Bora.
Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. I figured. And I know you guys have it. That's not my guy. Is that my guy that greets me?
That's your guy.
Okay. I have all these great videos, you guys, if you want to see it. He's amazing. He greets you when he comes out. You guys have a different type of dining package with this program, with this resort, normally, not just during this time, if I remember correctly.
Um, n-
No, or do you
what?
guys always
No.
include, you always include breakfast, but you guys also offered a dinner, correct?
Well, yeah. So you can pre-purchase your dinner if you wanted to. Here's a little tip for you, actually. If you want to save a bit of money in Tahiti,
That's what you were saying, yes.
okay. So if you wanted to, and you don't have to pre-purchase all your dinners, but if you wanted to, we can provide, a what do you call that thing? The menus.
Yeah.
So you can see and then so what you could do is that you could say pre-purchase dinner, for example, for a couple of nights. When you do that, the, if you pre-purchase it in North America, the taxes are 10%. Okay.
Oh.
If you purchase it on site, the local taxes are 18%.
Ah, so you save
So
8%, yeah.
so you can save a little bit of money.
That's
I
what
mean,
it
it's
was.
not
Yep.
not huge, but to be fair and to be transparent, dining in Tahiti is not inexpensive. It is expensive to dine in Tahiti. To be
Yeah.
fair,
Well, and at
I don't want to.
Tahaa, you're really not going to go anywhere. So,
Right.
I mean, that's it.
So so I mean, we don't have a lot of people who pick up on that package because that's just they like to sort of mix and match, I guess. Um, but before we talk about dining, I just want to mention this guy. Hopefully, there's no husband sitting around the table. Um, this is Tavita. He is the most tattooed person in French Polynesia. His
Crazy.
name in English actually is David. So when I'm on the resort, he's T1 and I'm T2. I don't have the tats, of course, but that's the way it works. He's our cultural ambassador. So he will meet you on arrival at the resort,
Yep.
at our arrivals pontoon with his ukulele and stuff like that, and escort you to reception. And his job, which is a job that everybody wants, is basically to walk around the resort all day and just interact with our guests. So
Yep.
if you're thirsty, you'll climb a coconut tree, for example, and grab a coconut and bring it down and show you how to shell the coconut and stuff like that, and away you go. If you want a basket for something, he'll get some flax and he'll weave a basket for you and show you how to do it. Great guy, actually. And he also is our fire dancing show as well, which is on
Yep.
Tuesday nights. Okay, so we finally arrived at the dining. This is the Vanilla Restaurant. I call this our living restaurant. It is actually suspended amongst the trees.
Mm-hmm.
We have La Plage, our feet in the sand restaurant, which is down by the pool area, and O'Hare, our fine dining restaurant. And then, of course, we have a romantic dinner program available to you as well. As I mentioned, this is the Vanilla, beautiful restaurant, actually.
Yep.
And we are still doing buffet breakfasts here at the resort. I know there's a lot of talk about buffet breakfast and all this sort of stuff and not doing it anymore. What we're doing is a little bit different. So as guests, you will not actually serve yourself from the buffet. So we actually have a completely separate team that will actually service everybody. So you'll just walk the buffet. And this is a recent shot that one of our team took, and our guys will service you from the buffet. Okay. So the dining experience, if you're booking into the fine dining restaurant, you have to pre-book that. Lots of different excursions on the main island as well. If you're looking for a fun
That was
souvenir,
fun. That was good.
go to the rum factory. There's a big sugarcane plantation on
Yep.
Tahaa, and you can actually buy vanilla rum as well. And over there, they actually have fresh pressed or manoi oils as well.
Mm-hmm.
So which is kind of cool. And we do have a complimentary shuttle service that goes across to the Tahaa as well. Okay, so that just gives you a wonderful spa facility here at Tahaa.
Yeah.
So that just gives you a real brief overview, because I know time's getting on now.
Yes.
And then just real quickly to Tuamotu's, the Tikihau Pearl Beach Resort. So as I mentioned, this actually means seeking peace. So if you're looking to go to a place where the feeling is you're in the middle of the South Pacific,
Wow.
this would be it. So unlike Bora Bora and Tahaa with the high volcanic peaks, here what you see are the low-lying atolls
Yep.
of Tikihau. As I mentioned, Jacques Cousteau said, When you surveyed this area, it was the largest concentration of marine life anywhere in the world. Lots of different things you can do here, not just about diving or snorkeling. We have a bird sanctuary here with all these beautiful exotic seabirds. You can do excursion to there. You can do a lagoon excursion and go and experience all the other little motus around here as well. We do a sunset cruise here. You can do a romantic motu picnic on a private motu away from the resort if you wanted to as well. And one of the unique features of Tahiti is the pink sand beaches of Tahiti.
Beautiful.
So this is so if you're really wanting a 3 or 4 night experience where you just want to get away from everybody, get away from everything, you want to reconnect with your partner, or or you guys just want to disconnect, this would be a great little destination to consider. Just a couple of quick points to mention here. We used to have a management company who ran this resort for us, but we took it back last year. So we're doing a lot of work on the resort in 2021. Very much like a little bit like Tahaa. But this group of overwater bungalows here are not air conditioned. Okay. So if you wanted to have an air conditioned bungalow here overwater, you'd just go into what we call the suite overwater bungalows, and that's what you can do. My recommendation would be to go into a beach product.
Wow.
The beach villas are all completely air conditioned with ceiling fans, and what's better than walking out onto a pink sand beach?
Yeah.
Great bathroom area.
I think beach villas are really overrated. I think people don't realize how cool they are. I almost prefer that over the overwater.
Right.
I think they're more private. I think they have more, you can see more. Look at that. But I have to have air conditioning. So
Yeah.
so they are. That's great.
Yeah, so they're air conditioned, and this is the suite overwater bungalow at Tahaa. So that just gives you an idea of.
No, not Tahaa. This is Tiki
Tahiti. I'll get myself mixed up there.
That's okay. I recognize. I've been in the other one, so.
Okay, so that gives you a real quick overview of 3 of our major resorts that we have.
Perfect. I agree.
If anybody's got any questions, I'm happy to take them.
Is anyone? I know we've had a couple questions, and I would say this, that you can always ask me too. There is a big difference between the islands. I know you guys don't have anything on Moorea. It'd be great if you guys would buy the Intercontinental. That would be really nice.
Do you know how many? Do you know how many people have asked me that question?
Oh my gosh, it'd be so great to be able to go to all the islands. Because here's the deal: if you stay at one and you stay at another, you do get a discount between, which is a great feature with staying with a chain, basically. And I will say this: one of the things I did really enjoy was I did get to enjoy Tahiti, which a lot of people don't want to go to. There is a lot of beauty about Tahiti that we went into the inner. We did the Jeep tour and inside, and the Pearl Hotel there was beautiful. There is some things to say to stay there if you like to shop, if you like going out to eat, if you like stuff like that. They're really, really different, the different islands. And like you said, do you want to be alone? Do you want quiet? I tell people all the time, Bora Bora is beautiful. There's not as much to do there as there is in Moorea. I don't know if I'd want to go there for a whole week. I love doing a split stay. So like you said, Tahaa. When we were there was some famous artist that was there too that goes there for a couple months. That was the biggest surprise for me when I was there, that how beautiful that resort was and how relaxed it was. I could stay at that resort for a very, very long time. There was lots to do there. The food is very good. But is there any questions that you guys want to ask him while we've got him here? Okay, yes, Heather, we need to go there. Heather's saying this. Heather works with me and she's on here and she's been to a lot of these islands. She actually got a tattoo there also. But she now is like, I need to go to all these different resorts. It's just my favorite. I absolutely love it. And I don't think people realize how easy it is once you do that 8-hour flight from LAX. But are there any questions anyone has?
I just wanted to finish up actually, just to talk about the packaging and how you to create value, through Susan and stuff like that with Classic Vacations. With our resort, Susan actually mentioned a little about, these special offers that different brands have. With us, you don't have to just do Pearl Resorts to get the special offers.
Oh.
So for example, let's say you went to Tahaa and you wanted to stay at Tahaa, you'd get the free MAP program. Sorry, the free breakfast and dinner program with the discount. You don't have to go and stay at another Pearl to get that. You could actually go to Four Seasons or St. Regis or Conrad Bora Bora, for example.
Wonderful.
So it's easy to mix and match. So don't think that you have to stick within our brand to actually get, value for money. I mean, we understand and we appreciate that everybody has different tastes and different experiences and different expectations. And some of our resorts may work for you, some of them may not, and that's okay. As long as you're coming to Tahiti, that's what we wanting you to do.
Would you say there's go ahead. Sorry, go finish.
No, go ahead, Susan. Yeah.
I was gonna say, is there a season? I know, Denise, we were joking, she went last July, a year ago July, and it rained every day. And July's supposed to be dry, but what would you consider season on and off?
I think Tahiti now has become a year-round destination. I think in the November through March is sort of their summer, so it's a bit more humid.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't really talk about the seasonality too much anymore, particularly at this time of where we are in the world.
Yeah.
I mean,
typically that was a lower price.
I tend to think that sitting on the deck of an overwater bungalow at this time is pretty therapeutic. And I don't care if it's raining. I don't care if the sun's shining. I think your experience is going to be great. And we are a tropical destination, and yes, there is going to be some rainfall. Because we don't have rain, then nobody gets to drink water, which is a bit of a problem for everybody. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the destination of Tahiti, not just our resorts, our destination is naturally socially distanced.
Yes.
We have a whole policy in place for people in terms of looking after our international guests. The feedback that we're having so far has been great. The American guests in particular have been very, very respectful of all of the COVID policies and stuff like that. Our staff are really trying hard as well, and it's almost creating this concept of a new level of customer service where there's this concept that we're all in this together.
Yeah, I would agree. I think you're right.
And there's a lot of interaction going on, so it's kind of cool. So,
I've had about 5 couples go so far since July, and they've all been happy. I have a client on here right now that we were joking, but he's like, I don't want to be around a bunch of people while I'm on vacation. And I said the stat that they always bring up is the amount of people that go to Hawaii in a week is the amount that go to Tahiti in a year typically. Tahiti on a normal year is not crowded. And, pricing wise, November to March is typically lower. October, I'm blown away by some of these pricing because October is honeymoon season for you guys. And the pricing right now is just so cheap.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing April, May, June, and I'm going, you guys don't understand. This is 40-50% off compared to what, getting a trip to Bora Bora for a week and getting an Overwater Bungalow for under $8,000. That's unheard of. So, and then to know that they're getting this and they're getting dinner and they're getting this beautiful brand new bungalow is just a great opportunity. Like I said, I really want to encourage them to do a split stay and try to get, I didn't think about doing Tahaa after. I always think first. It's funny because the way we did it, I thought Tahaa was the other way. I thought it was farther west or whatever, northwest. But it's really easy to go between the two of them. It's part of that is the experience. And that's part of what we try to do is that's why we did all the things. I mean, I saw 17 resorts in 12 days. I did like 40 activities. I was exhausted. By the time I got to my room, I couldn't keep my eyes open. But part of that was to go, well, what would I do if I went back? What would my clients want to do? Everyone's got a different feel for what they like and what they don't like. But there was a really good feel on everything that we did with you guys. I really appreciate this. It's 11:04. I don't want to keep people over. If you have more questions, please email me. I can connect you with Dave if you want or ask me. I so appreciate this, Dave. I really can't wait to get back out there. I tried to convince my husband, but he won't go that far yet. So he gets nervous on the airplane, which is interesting.
It's not that far. It's
I know. Well, and the airplanes are the safest place to go right now because they recycle their air every 3 minutes.
It's only 2 movies and a couple of cases of Foster's away.
I'm telling you, those airplanes are really comfortable too. They're like comfy, And my daughter just said, hello, you have a daughter that likes to travel. I know. Then my husband, he's so funny. Then he's like, oh, where are you going? You going without me? I'm like, hey, you can't have it both ways. So, but it's such a beautiful place, and the people, and the photos you see are for real. Sometimes they're Photoshop. They're not. You get off the plane, and I'm not joking. You're like, oh my gosh, you almost want to pick it up and be like, wow, this is really what it is. So thank you so much. I appreciate all of you guys coming. I'm going to put this up on my YouTube. I'll also have it on my page. And if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate. If you want Dave's information, let me know if you're a travel agent. Obviously, if you're not, I will not give you Dave's information because you will have to go through me. But have a good evening. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Okay, take care, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.